家好，欢迎收看中华电视的家藏中华栏目。今天呢，我们特别邀请了澳大利亚墨尔本皇家理工大学语言系主任陈杨国生女士。我们一起呢，专门来拜访了在澳大利亚出生并且长大的，在华人社会享有声望的陈妈妈。让我们一起来走进她的生活，听一听她的故事。
Melbourne, the Chinese community in Australia has been settled here for over 150 years.
Yes, that's
and
right.
Your family, the great Wong family, is one of the most diligent and well-known families established in this country. We're always curious about and the family stories.
Well, on my side, my family side, is my grandfather came to Australia in the 1850s. That's a long time ago now,
Yeah.
more than 150 years. But my husband, he came in 1948 as a business migrant.
Wow.
And he was only here for about 30 years, but he's passed away now.
So the business was about?
Our business was called David Wong and Company, so we had a very large importing business. We also imported, we wholesaled and we retailed all the goods that we bought from China, from Japan, from Hong Kong, from the Southeast Asia. All our goods were arts and crafts, all handmade.
Yes.
And so we had a lovely time looking for all these beautiful things
That
from all
also
those
brought,
countries.
yeah. The furniture actually is part of Chinese culture and
Yeah.
beautiful
Yes.
arts.
We used to bring antiques, carpets, furniture, and all handmade arts and crafts from China.
Yes.
So we went to China very often to look for all these beautiful things,
Wow.
which we imported ourselves and sold in our own shops.
You were born in this country.
I was born here.
Yeah.
My father was born here, and I have great-grandchildren, so we are 5 generations in Australia.
Fantastic.
I went to a very good school called University High
Uh-huh.
in Parkville, and then I went to RMIT, where I did studied art.
Yes.
But I never used my art because my husband started business, so I joined him in the business, and we worked in that together.
And in keeping the Chinese culture here, you've done something extraordinary, which is to give the new life to the Melbourne Dailong. That's supposed to be the longest Dailong outside China. Can you tell us a bit more about that fascinating stories?
Well, it goes back a long way, the dragon. There's always been a dragon in Melbourne that took part in the old days. It was the Labour Day procession.
Uh-huh.
And that dragon, I think they brought it out in the 1930s.
Wow.
And it was brought out by the Young Chinese League. They were the young Chinese people who formed a social group, and they did many things together. They had sporting events and they had social events to keep the people together. And they brought the first dragon.
Uh-huh.
The Chinese League people approached my husband to see if he could help them buy a new dragon, because they needed a lot of money for another dragon.
Yes.
So they came to see him, and so they had a meeting. They called themselves a Dailong committee.
Yes.
My husband died very soon after that first meeting, and so when he died, I felt that I really had to step in and do something. So I went. At that time, we were going to China very often to buy our purchases, imports.
Yes.
So on the next visit, before I went on to the China, I wrote to the ambassador, the first ambassador to Australia. His ambassador, I think his name was Joe. I can't remember his full name, but he was the first ambassador to Australia.
Yes.
And so I wrote to him. But he didn't reply, so I thought, oh gosh, what will I do now? So anyway, we went up to business to the trade fair in Canton.
Yes.
And when I arrived there, they welcomed me and said, we'll take you to Fushan, where the dragon, we can make a dragon.
Yes.
Because all the ceremonial paraphernalia was made in Fushan, was famous for all the things for traditional festivities.
Yes.
So Mark and I went to Fushan. They didn't even know how to make one. They had no plans, they didn't know what it looked like. So I came back and we sent them the plans that we had. We sent them a copy of the scale.
Did you draw that yourself? Or
No, we had the original drawing.
Okay.
So we sent them a copy of the drawing. Actually, I've lost the drawing now, but we did have one.
Yes.
And the scales we sent them, so they copied that. And in the meantime, we had to raise $36,000.
Wow.
Dollars.
That's somebody's 4 year salary.
Yeah, but that
More
was,
than that.
That was nearly 40 years ago.
Yes.
36,000 was a lot of
Lot
money.
of money, exactly.
Anyway, we actually raised it
Yes.
by having dinner parties, barbecues, anything to make the money.
Who came to these parties?
We
Fundraising activities.
organised it. We
Yes.
organised it, and we tried to get everyone interested.
Yeah.
And in 10 months, we got the money, 36,000
Wow, that's
in
amazing.
10 months. And in 10 months, within a year, the Chinese people had finished the dragon, sent it to Australia, and it was ready for the 1979 Mumba procession, the 25th anniversary of Mumba.
With the new image,
Yeah,
new
with
energy, with
new
your
dragon.
energy.
Yeah. So
And
anyway,
organisation.
we got it in 1 year. We paid
Yes.
for it, and they made it all in at 12 months. Within 12 months.
That's amazing.
So that was really wonderful.
Yeah.
And in China, they didn't even know how to make one so until we gave them the the drawings. So our dragon started renewed the industry, dragon
Fantastic.
industry in China.
So you're a mother of dragons.
Not
Maria.
quite.
A lot of people call you that, and I'll call you that. Yes. And dragon's very heavy.
It's too heavy, actually.
Exactly.
We
and
really-
how do you get it alive in the street?
Well, we need about 10 men to change only a few minutes underneath for
Yes.
each one because it's too heavy.
Yes.
But I hope that one day we'll have a lighter head so that it'll be easier for
Yeah.
them to carry it.
So you just talk about just for the head.
The
You
head
need-
only is so
Head
heavy.
only, you need 10
10
people
at
to
least, even.
change the shift.
Yeah, even
to
more.
make it alive.
Even more. We can't make it alive because it's so heavy. We just can walk with
Yeah,
it.
yes.
You know.
And how long is the second dragon now?
Now, when we got ours in 79,
Yes.
now after 20 years, in 99, it was already looking very shabby
Yes.
because sometimes we had to take it out in the rain
That's right.
and in the sun, and that would fade it or destroy, the silk. It was made of silk and
Yes.
fur. And so we got another one for 2000, in the year 2000, and we called that one the Millennium Dragon. So that's the third dragon, Melbourne Dragon.
This is the one we have now.
The one we have now.
In the museum.
Which is in the
Yes.
museum. So now it's fine. It'll probably last another 20 years and they'll have to get another one.
So it took you
It only
how
lasts,
many years?
what's that?
30 years.
It's 40 years now.
40 years.
Since we got Dailong, the first Dailong.